All right, here we go. Whoop, hit my head. All right, folks. Yo, we got a great one for y'all today. Got a book review. You know we love doing these book reviews. Like we love doing them ourselves. We love to read. We like doing them for you too. A lot of you out there that don't got the time to read, or even if you have read it or not, you hear it from a different perspective where you go, make you think. Because not only we read the book, give you from our perspective, we also give you some personal things that we add into our own personal life, especially me myself, where I could identify with a lot of stuff with a lot of the books I read. So this book today is going to be an oldie but goodie by Shannon Holmes.
Awesome book. Awesome book.
This is one of my favorites too. I know I always say I got so many favorites. This one's called Be More Careful. And what it's the reason it said be more, it meaning be more, Baltimore. Be more careful. Yo, this is a great book. Just to give you a touch up on it. This book review is not for kids. I try not to cuss in my videos, but unfortunately we want to make this one that real. So it's going to be some cussing in this one, just to put that disclaimer out there in the beginning. So this one's going to be dealing with drugs. It's going to be dealing with backstabbing. It's going to be dealing with vengeance. Speaking of vengeance.
Yeah, betrayal.
Betrayal. Speaking of vengeance, that's going to be the word of the day, vendetta. Now, if you look up the word vendetta, it simply means revenge and vengeance. But a more severe way of putting it is when it's dealing with murder. Like someone murdered someone that's close to you, and now you're on revenge, a quest of revenge to get that person back in like a murderous type of way. And what a coincidence for that to be the word of the day, vendetta. The main character, her name is Netta. You know what I'm saying? Her real name is Shanetta, but she just go by the name Netta. So therefore I chose that word, vendetta. So let's get on with it. Like I said, the book is called Be More Careful. Touching on drug dealers in Be More, Baltimore.
But remember, without Netta, it's both girls, Mimi and Netta.
Yes.
Those are the two main girls that started off
yes.
with each other being best friends, and they become close family.
Yeah. Now the way the book start off, it's like one of them books, such as like a lot of movies y'all seen out there. You know how they dealing with the present, and then they go in the future, and then they go 20 years ago or 10 years ahead, and stuff like that. So the way it starts out, they already grown, this and that, and they got this group, these girls called the Pussy Pound. And what the Pussy Pound do is this clique of girls where all they do is go out and hook up with drug dealer guys, and they swindle them out of their money through sex and scams, robbing them, all kind of silly stuff. That's how it starts out. But then it goes back to when Netta, the main character, one of the main characters, when she was a kid, and it tells her story, which is really sad.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? You remember?
See, well, Netta, she had a mother. She got involved with one of the gangsters.
Yeah. Got
married and obviously became his woman and everything. But they had a little girl named Netta.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the drug dealer. The drug dealer didn't want the marriage. Like he wanted the fast life, still being out there hustling.
Yes.
Right.
True.
So
so in other words, he left them. He left her. Not only left her, she wound up living in a project and in a filthy roach, rat, mice infested, drug infested project that was horrible, crime infested, all kind. He left them there to fend for them owners, and he didn't do nothing to help them.
And his name was Dollar.
His name was Dollar. He was a big time dealer. He could have clearly helped them, but he left them. And the mother, what was her name? Shireen, whatever. Let's just say her name Shireen. Netta's mother had Netta, and everywhere they used to go, people used to always remind her mother. They would say, "Man, your daughter looked just like you," and she hated it. Because she looked at her little daughter like, "You stole my youth. It's because of you. Your father left us." She used to hate her daughter because people said she looked like her so much, and she blamed her daughter for her living conditions. So she used to always yell at her daughter, treat her daughter like crap, call her little bitchs, "You little slut, you ain't gonna be nothing. You know, it's because of you why we ain't got nothing. That's why he left us. You get your ass out of here." No food in the house, no catering, nothing.
But she went into this Great Depression. She actually went to this depression, and she started using drugs.
Yeah, because the dude Dollar never came back. So now she started using drugs. And one day, while in the elevator, they ran into this elderly lady named Miss May. Miss May was an elderly lady who she said to Cherie, she said, if you don't mind, I can always babysit your daughter if you ever need a babysitter. And before you know it, this old lady was watching all the little young welfare recipient young women
Became
in
like
the
her grandmother.
projects, kids. But Netta personally, she watched her all the time. And before you know it, Netta started calling Miss May grandma, and she wasn't even calling her own mother. She never called her mother mom. There was never no love there. Netta ate over Miss May's house. Miss May taught her ABCs, taught her how to read, how to write, taught her manners, showed her how much she loved her and everything. When when her own mother would come pick her up, she didn't want to go with her. I remember you was like that. Remember you used to babysit the little girl?
Yeah.
And you had it since she was a baby. You know,
Yeah.
and when her mother used to come pick her up, she didn't want to go to her own mother. She was like, no. So that was personal.
Yeah.
But anyway, Netta loved this old lady so much. And at times when she would go home and have food or whether her mother would take the food and then yell at her and call her, you little bitch, you get in the room. You know, when I got company over this house, you stay your fucking ass in the room. You don't get out of that goddamn room, you little bastard.
And you know
She used to talk to her daughter like that all the time, where her daughter hated her. She wanted nothing more than to be with Miss May down the hall, down the
But
couple flights.
you're mentioning that, and it kind of really eats me up because you got parents out there that they speak to their kids that way.
Yeah, she was harsh.
And you wonder, the kids, they're thinking, they're used to them talking to them like that. But
Yep.
you don't know mentally you're destroying that
You're right.
kid's life.
You're right. And so now, as years went on, as my wife said, Serene, she kept using drugs more and more and started having multiple sex partners, this and that. And now Netta, as she's coming home with A's and B's because Miss May taught her, she couldn't wait to tell Miss May, look, I got an A, because her whole thing was, I know when I tell Mrs. May, my grandmother, that I got an A, I'm going to get some freshly baked cookies. You know, it meant everything to Netta.
Yes.
Her whole world was built around Mrs. May. And sure enough, when she came home one day, she said, Miss May, I got an A on my report. And Miss May gave her the biggest hug. And then after she gave her the biggest hug, she said, I baked you some fresh baked cookies, baby. And she knew it. She said, man, she loved this lady. And then one day she goes home and the mother said, you gonna stop going down to her house. She's not your damn grandmother. I'm your motherfucking mother. Now you get your ass to the room with your sassy ass.
She's very jealous of
Yeah,
her.
she treated her daughter like crap. And still, every time when people seen them out and about, they was like, man, you spit your daughter out. She looked just like you. So when they would get home, she'd yell at her again, be like, see, it's you that's taking away my youth. She hated her daughter.
That's a shame.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
unfortunately, one day, Netta was getting off the bus coming from school, and there was ambulance, ambulance and police all around, and they said somebody had died in the project. When she got closer, she realized it was the building she stayed in. And when she got closer to that, she realized, wait a minute, she seen somebody pulling out a gurney with a dead body on it, and somebody in the crowd said, that's Mrs. May. Turned out one of the people in a crackhead fiend had robbed and raped this old lady. Now it's so sad that you hear stories like that all the time.
You figure out how you rape a little an
old lady. And a helpful one, old lady who's there to help the community, helping everybody. But this is what drugs do to people. You're not in your right state of mind. Not making no excuse for a drug fiend, but this what happens.
That's what drugs
That's
do.
why some of them get killed or whatever. Because it's like, you taking it that far, somebody else gonna take it even further.
Exactly.
But yeah, when Miss May died, Netta felt like her whole world had crumbled. Cause that was her only light. Her mother in the house was nothing but roaches, rats, mice, and an attitude, nasty mom that she never called mom. But now that Miss May was gone, she just cried her tears out and thought life was over. And now she would just keep herself in a room and stay to herself, never talking to her mother. And on one day, her mother did the same thing and went off on her and asked her, did she have any money to help buy something around here, and you ain't shit, and you know, it's because of you, we living the way we live, your father left us and this and that. And that was the day Netta had it, because she already lost Miss May. And that day she grabbed her mother and threw her up against the wall. She said, let me, because she had slapped her up.
Yeah.
And then this day, Netta grabbed her up and she threw her mother up against the wall. She said, let me tell you something. You gonna stop calling me a bitch.
Exactly.
You understand that? And you ain't gonna never put your hands on me again, or I will kick your ass. Now that's crazy for a child to build up that much anger that she got taught like that to her mother. She had to.
then yeah, that doesn't mean that she hated her mother. She still loved her mother, but it's just the way she was coming about it.
Yeah.
Now remember, now she's getting a lot. She's getting a lot older, and now she's starting to go out to New York, going out stealing big.
Boosting. She still because what it is in school, she come from poverty. She ain't got no money or nothing. She knew the kids were laughing at her clothes, so she started stealing stuff. She started stealing so much she got famous at it that other kids was paying her to steal them the latest and greatest fashions. So that's what you're talking about. So then she took a trip to New York, a bus trip on a church bus trip to New York, because she was like, I can't keep stealing in my neighborhood. They starting to be aware of me now. I gotta go to other areas. And she caught that bus trip to New York with a church family and all that.
Exactly, and that's how she bumped into Mimi.
Mimi.
That's how she bumped.
Yeah, because what happened? While Mimi tried to be nice to her on the bus, and she's like, "What's your name?" And Netta was like, "Netta," and then turned her head, and then Mimi was like, "Well, fuck you too, bitch." Like she's like, "Why she acting all snobby?" So, but Netta, for some reason, Mimi felt a connection, even though this was a stranger. She felt a connection with this girl. They was about the same age.
Exactly.
So it turns out when the bus gets to New York, they go their way, Netta go her way, and it just so happens in one of the stores, Mimi wound up being in the same store where Netta was at, and she seen Netta stealing. She seen her, but Mimi also seen the manager lady. It was a lady.
Yeah.
She seen the lady watching Netta, and she's about to catch Netta. So Mimi put on a whole big scene and said, act like the lady was following her. She put a big scene to draw the lady attention from her. From Netta to her. And Netta seen that. And Netta got away with all this stuff. But then when they got back on the bus, Netta was like, yo, thanks for what you did. But why you do that for me? And she's like, because I didn't want you to get caught. Plus that lady was all in your business. And from that day...
Yeah, but also the security guard, when Netta left out of the store, was the security just following?
They was about to get her. Mimi saved her. And when they got back on the bus, they talked, and now Netta felt bad. She said, Dad, in her head, she's like, why I treat this girl so bad? Like, I ain't want nothing to do that. She just saved me. I could have been locked up. But from that point on, they was tight. So now it speeds up. Now oh, no. And now they hanging together. They talking on the phone every night. And now when Mimi mother finds out about Netta living conditions, Mimi mom asks her to come live with us. And she said, no little child should be living like that. And she raises her. Mimi mom raises Netta. And Netta mother has no problem with it. She's like, well, you could go ahead, because I don't need you around anyway. It's like, wow, you didn't care nothing about your daughter.
Yeah, and remember, Mimi already had a small crew. It was called the Pussy Pound. And then that's how Mimi went and took Netta in.
Oh, we missing a crucial part. So before all of that happened, Mimi had two brothers, Tim and Tommy. They was twins. They was big time, Tim and Tom. They was big time drug dealers. And turns out on this one, they was huge. On this one night, every night for 2 weeks, there was this black car right up the street.
No, it was
a green?
car.
Okay. It was following and tracking them their every move, and they never found out. That's what bothered me. I said, how you ain't paying attention to your surroundings?
But they didn't even have a crew. They didn't even have bodyguards or anything. They were just the brothers just doing their thing.
So now on this night, as they walking up to their condo, they walking in, and next thing you know, a Joker shadows come out of the darkness and put a gun to both their heads. Like, yeah, yo, don't move, or I will blow your goddamn head off. Now get in the place. And they get in the place, and both of them, they look at each other with that tacit look, like, damn, we slipping. That's another one of my books. It's called just that, and it's dealing with this type of stuff. It's called Caught 'Em Slipping. That's like in Newark, New Jersey, New York, and all that. But that's another one like this. But anyway, they give each other that tacit look. Tacit just means talking without verbal, the body language. So anyway, they was like, damn, caught us slipping. So they was upset with themselves, like, and all they kept saying is, now they had a personal vendetta, because as the two guys was talking, they recognized the one guy's voice. Yeah. What's his name? You remember his name? But let's just say his name was Mike. They was like, yeah, Mike, we know that's you up under the mask. And sure enough, Mike knew that they knew, so he took the mask off. He said, yo, why you doing this, man? And Mike was like, yeah, man, but remember last month you guys fired me, and you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, cause I know I was messing up, but damn, y'all ain't had to embarrass me like that. Y'all stripped me naked in my clothes and made me run through the streets naked.
But he was a screw up.
Yeah, and that's what they told him. Yeah, but you kept screwing our money up, man. We kept telling you knock it off. So now the other dude said, man, shut the fuck up with all that shit. He said, man, get that motherfucker over there, and he tied both of them up. And he went through the house and he found something like $20,000. And he said, man, I know damn well you guys got more money than this. And he said, yo, I'm gonna kill both of y'all unless y'all tell me where the rest of the money. And then the one brother, he said, yo, we do, man, don't hurt my brother. Another one said, don't hurt my brother. And he said, yo, man, we got like 200,000 at my other brother place. So now the dude said, all right, I'm gonna send Mike with him so you get the rest of the money, but I'm gonna be with your brother here. So if anything go wrong, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, so that was the one that was telling Mike about it. I think his name is Mo.
Yeah.
So Mo told Mike to go with him.
Go with
Tim.
Tim.
The twins.
Go with Tim.
They were twins. Yeah, go with Tim
Yeah.
and get the rest of the money, and I'm gonna give you a certain timing
To get
come
back.
to
Otherwise,
get
I'm gonna
back.
kill your damn brother.
Exactly. But no matter what, he already had his plan.
Yeah, he already had it
Mo
messed.
had his plan that he was gonna kill the
Tommy.
twin Tommy, and then when they come back, he was gonna kill both of them, even his boy,
Yep.
even Mike.
He was gonna kill Mike too,
Even
because
Mike
he said, man, I didn't even want to do this robbery with
'Cause
Mike.
he
He's
didn't
such a
wanna
screw up.
share- He didn't want to share the money.
And he said,
the
because
money
Mike is such a
all
screw up.
mine.
Remember, he
Yeah.
said Mike is such a screw up, and he's a scared. He said he's a little frail, scary joker. So when I get all this money, I'm gonna kill everybody. But what I like that Tim always see, you must always have a contingency plan, aka backup plan, plan B. Like that's what make Batman so powerful. You gotta understand that. Yeah, I've said this in one of my videos before. Look at Batman. I know I'm kind of going off the grid here, but look at Batman. Batman, the only superhero that got no powers, right? But meanwhile, he could beat every superhero. Ain't that crazy? You know why? Because he always have a backup plan for backup plan for backup plan. But anyway, that was Tim. At his condo, he always had a backup plan. So as him and Mike was driving to the house, to the condo, he kept driving trying to find his little homies in other neighborhoods. Nobody was around. So that backup plan didn't work.
Isn't that awful? When
But
you
he did have a backup plan.
Yeah,
It just,
but it's awful when since you're bringing that up. Isn't it horrible
When you need somebody.
When you need somebody, they're never around.
then nobody, he's like, damn, I'm circling these blocks. And then Mike said, yo, man, you going around in circles, man. You ain't stupid, man. Where the hell? You drive, you wasting time. He said, all right, man. He said, nah, I was just, you just go this way. So now they finally went to, he's like, damn, that plan didn't work. But he had another backup plan. So now when he get to the house, he walks and knocks on the door. It was a certain way he knocked.
Exactly. His
It-
girlfriend
yeah,
was there.
and then it was a certain way he hit the doorbell too, and he always knew when my girl is in the house, and she know when I knock like this and I ring the doorbell like that, she supposed to know exactly what to do.
Right?
And sure enough, his girl was a ride or die. She shoot first, ask questions last.
Exactly.
And sure enough, when he knocked like that, she came to the door, and I forgot her name. Let's say her name was Michelle, right? When she came to the door, she peeped through the peephole and she seen Tim, and Tim just yelled. He yelled out her name. He said, "Michelle," and right away he ducked. As soon as he ducked, she had the double barrel shotgun. Boom!
But you know what? He was an idiot too, because Mike. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Mike.
he was standing right
He
there.
was standing right in front of the door.
Yeah, I love
Instead
that
of just
backup
that,
plan.
You know how you got in movies, you got the one person
Yeah.
standing right
Yeah.
next against the wall,
Uh-huh.
so they won't look at you being funny. He just stood right there.
He
In front
stood
of
right
the
there,
door.
blew that joker away.
Well, see, that's what he deserved.
And then now she came out. He's like, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Always stay on point. Like, yo, that was fat. I love that scene. So now he rushed in the house. Yo, he gets bags of money, whatever, because he's like, he knows no matter what's gonna happen at this point, a whole lot gonna change. He said, yo, get in touch with your father. You gotta get rid of that body. And then he go upstairs, he go get his what he had, Desert Eagle. That's that big gun.
Yeah.
That junk scare you just by
but
the
you
noise.
know what? I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring it back a little bit, but you know what was so really sad? That the twins gave the eye like, this is gonna be the last time you're gonna see me. Wasn't
Yeah,
sad?
that was a tacit
They
thing.
gave them
When,
that-
when they
they
were
gave each
separated,
other
when he
that
told
look,
Pokemon, you're
like,
right.
yo,
They looked at
man.
each other like, damn, it's gonna be the
I'm
last time I see you.
And that's
Right.
exactly what happened.
Yeah, so now
Oh.
now he get his Desert Eagle gun, he get the bags of money, throw them in the trunk. He tell his girl, yo, you gotta get in contact with your father, get rid of this body. Because the police and everything gonna be around. So now he's rushing back, and all he's thinking about is his brother. He said, man, I gotta get back. He said, I know I had a certain amount of time. I gotta get back. He's rushing back.
So
and when he finally get back,
Yeah.
his girl meets him. And when she meets him, he have her go to the front door. And when she go to the front door, she plays it smooth. She's like, Tommy, open up this door. I know you did. But just before, no, let me back it up. Just before they got there,
Yeah.
Mo was in there with Tommy. He's asking where the rest of the money. And now he's trying on their shoes, their gaiters, their furs, and all this stuff. And next you know, he goes to the stereo. He turned the stereo up and up and up. And he turns it all the way up, blasting. I knew what was going on when he did that. And then he walks right over to Tommy and he goes, yeah.
He kills
He says, sorry, man, this plan ain't working out for you. And blows his brother's head away right there. And that's the whole purpose of blasting music. So now, Tim, and Michelle, they get back to the house. He had Michelle go to the front door while he sneaks around the back glass door. And now she's knocking on the door, and Mo like not trying to answer. He's not trying to answer. But then she says, I know you in there, Tommy, because I see your car parked out here. Don't play with me. I know you got some other bitch in there. You better open this fucking door. So now Mo realizes, damn, she won't leave, man. I gotta open this door. And at the same time, simultaneously, Tim around the back. And as he climbing through the glass,
going through the window.
It was a sliding door.
Yeah.
He sees his brother on the floor, blood out his head.
Full of blood, yeah.
And he just goes into a total vendetta rage. He's like, yo, you murdered my brother. And just like that, he pulls the Desert Eagle out and shoots right through the glass. Boom, 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 boom. Like he's running through the glass. And it hits Mo. And he spins around. He's like, boom, boom. And he steps over his dead brother's body, and he goes right to Mo. Boom, 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 boom. Man, that Desert Eagle only takes one shot, but he was full of rage.
He shot him in the back of his head. He got on his arm and then in back of his head. And then when he got closer to Mo,
he let it out. It was just, yo, you killed my brother. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Like, and then his girl Michelle was like, yo, Tim, we gotta go. Come on. Yo, damn, he killed Tommy.
But that was even more dumb what he did. Tim.
He was still.
He just stood there like,
Because Michelle was like, come on, we gotta go. The police gonna be here. We gotta go. And he was just standing. He said, no, they killed my brother. And she's like, we gotta go. Come on, get your stuff. We gotta go. And he still just lifted his brother's head up and cradling it. And she was like, we gotta go. And then he was like, no, just take the money. Make sure you get rid of that body. I'm just gonna stay.
He had nothing to lose.
Cause I'm gonna stay with my brother. He killed my brother, man. I'm just gonna stay. She's like, no, we gotta. He said, look, please, just leave. Just leave. I'm staying. And sure enough, the cops showed up, locked him up. All the evidence was right there. He's doing life. Even though with all the money, he gave his money and all, his mother and all that, it was like, yo, there's no chance he's getting out, yo.
But you know what kind of disgusts me is with the twins' father? He scooped them, the father of the twins scooped them up in everything of the drug dealing situation, but never taught them how to be on the street.
Yeah.
To really prepare themselves for the worst.
Yeah, because you're right. Because now Timmy's mother, she felt like a total loss. She was like, my one son is dead. My husband is not here for us. My other son is doing life in prison without parole. Now I just got my young daughter Mimi, and now we could go back to the present. Now Mimi and Netta, they live together. Every night they talking and all this. Even Mimi's every time they get with different dudes, even Mimi looking at Netta like, man, she is so gorgeous, so beautiful. But anybody look at the two, they say, it's so similar. They look just alike. It's so compared. Only difference is that Netta is dark-skinned and Mimi is light-skinned. There's only difference. But beautiful girls. So anyway, every night, like I said, they meet different drug dealers, hustling out their money. Mimi meet this guy named Twan. I do remember that name. And Twan, Twan is just using her like a lot of these silly, dumb girls get caught up in. He's telling her how beautiful she is, this and that. Yeah, we got to move a little closer to start raining out here. Well, I'm stuck. So now, next thing you know, they start having sex, this and that. But every night he's leaving. He don't show up for days. She's calling, texting him, whatever. He's not answering his phone. And then next thing you know, one day she didn't see him for like 2 days or something like that, right? And then when he do show up, she said, where the hell you been? I've been calling BB. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I was locked up. That's where I was at. That's why I didn't call back. But he's really over some other chick out. And she keep falling for the bull John. And she sees him with other women. She hears about him with other women. But she's still staying with him, young and dumb, a fool. Next thing you know, one day, he even gives her a disease, right? What do you give her, crabs or something?
Yeah.
And then even that was evidence that he's cheating on you like crazy. And she still was with him. It's like, yo, you got girls out here that damn stupid. So anyway, next you know, she gets pregnant and finally she has this long talk with her moms and all that. And then she finally realized this guy don't give a damn about you. And she gives birth to a kid and she totally dismisses Twan. And it has nothing to do with him no more. But then when she go wrong, she thinks, you know what, I'm going to have sex with his best friend. And I'm going to have sex with the other drug dealer to make him mad. But Twan wrote her off. He was like, yo, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You never was shit anyway when I was with you. You was a dummy. It's a shame. Some women just so stupid. You got to hit rock bottom for you to finally get it, if you get it at all.
Exactly.
So now Netta, on the other hand, she hooks up with this drug dealer named Major. I remember. Major's a big drug dealer. Yo, he shows her how to bag this stuff, how to load it up, all this. Yo, he's buying her everything. He bought her her first car.
Those were the plans that these girls have. They're going for the big rollers, the big
And every night they hook all the girls. They hook back up and say who they got with and what money they got with and how much money they got from the guy and he got any other friends we could get money out of him too. But now Netta actually hooked up with a guy that really loved her and cared for her and gave her the world. Bought her a brand new a Mercedes or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Gave her everything she wanted, and she actually loved him. So now the other girls was jealous, including Mimi. And Mimi was like, how the hell did she get with the gut one and I can't, you know? And hate started building up. Unfortunately, Major one day was running from the cops on a motorcycle and got killed. And when the news got to Netta, she's like, oh my gosh, but he had already gave her tons of money. She knew where the stash houses was and everything.
Her, though.
Yeah, so she was set. So now to move on from that, next you know, the next one is this guy named Black.
Wow, nah, he's
this for the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty.
He was no joke though.
Next you know, she meets Black on another day. Mimi meets Black right hand man Ty, right? And then Black is the major guy. Black is such a big time dealer. He's opened up community centers and other stuff for the kids, barbershops and all stuff. He even drive around in his fancy car, pulling up to people saying, "You got any Grey Poupon?" You know, just showing off like how big. But then eventually Black gets known, very notorious, not just for being a big time drug dealer, but then he started having major bodies. He got a lot of bodies. He's known for killing.
Yes.
But now we got to go back again. That's how this book does. Because now I got to tell you what leads up to Black. Black was a middle school, high school, college, awesome basketball player. Awesome. He got scholarships from college and everything. His father was the world to him, just like Netta. Meant the world to him. Took him, did everything for him, showed him the ropes on the streets and everything. But on this one unforgettable day, his father was shooting craps. And when his father was losing, when everybody started arguing, his father switched the dice real quick and put in some fixed dice. But this one guy, Squirrel was the only one to see his father do that. And Squirrel was losing. Squirrel was losing money like crazy. And he had lost all his money. And just because he seen what Black father did, now he was jealous. I remember my boy Kevin always saying that. Because I remember my man Kevin was winning against my man Bo and Brian way back in the days. He keep throwing that in my face. And I had lost all my money just like Squirrel. And then Kevin was cheating. I ratted him out. I was like, yo, man, Kevin got them deuces. He cheating them up on his arm. So now, Kev, I dropped that. I dropped it, okay? Damn, man, keep throwing that up, man.
But that's when he was young.
Yeah, I was mad. Kevin was winning and I was losing. I'm rat him out, man. But anyway, and that's what happened. So Squirrel seen that his father was cheating, and he was mad because he was losing. Yo, don't get mad at me because you're losing. Learn how to play the game. So anyway, look, sun right back out.
Yes.
That's why I don't sweat the rain. I love the rain, but can't get too caught up in it because sun gonna be right back out. All them silly people in Disney World buying them rain things, and 2 minutes later, the sun right back out.
True.
I don't get caught up in it. I love the rain. But anyway, so Squirrel, he was like, yo, I'm gonna wait till they leave. All of a sudden, Black father had won like a couple of thousand, right?
Yeah.
And Squirrel had lost like 300,000. He was upset. Man, I lost this money, and this guy over here cheating. Man, I'm getting me some money. So he followed them down the street when all the crack game was over. He said, yo, man, why don't you break me off some of that money, man? He said, because I seen them fixed dice that you had. And Black father was like, man, what the hell are you talking about, man? I don't know what the hell you talking about. Don't get mad at me because you lost your money and you don't know how to play your square. You know how they talk back in the day. He said, man, you going to give me some of that money, man. And then all of a sudden, Black father pulled out a knife. And he's like, yo, you better get the hell up out of here, man. And then when he pulled out the knife, Squirrel pulled out a 22 snub nose. He said, and then Black father charged him. Pop! Shot him, and bullet hit him right in the chest and the heart. And just like that, Black was there the whole time as a little kid standing on the fence and ran to his father. And when he ran to his father and grabbed his father, Squirrel went in his father's pockets and stole all the money out. And he said, yeah, and took all the money. And the whole time Black was like, no. And that's what changed Black's life. From that day on, he never played ball again. he started selling drugs.
Hustling.
And while he was selling drugs, well, he found some drugs. He seen another drug dealer go and put in his stash somewhere. And while he was in his window, he went and stole the stash. And then he was selling it. And then one day, this big time drug dealer, this other guy, Nard.
Nard, yes.
Nard seen him out. He said, "Yo, man, what's up, young blood?" He said, "I normally see you playing ball, man. I don't see you playing ball no more. Now you out. Don't tell me you out here hustling." He said, "Man, I gotta do what I gotta do, man. Get money, man." So Nard took him up under his wing, and they talked a lot in the car. He took him out to get something to eat. Turns out they had similar backgrounds. Both lost their fathers at an early age, lived in poverty, and stuff just been bad. And that's how they became tight.
Yeah, and that's how Nard started
Trusting
him, and not only trusting him, guiding him and showing him everything that Nard knew.
Nard hooked him up big time.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, Black was the man, but he was still up under Nard, and he respected Nard. But then, next you know, one day, Nard got hit by the cops. And when Nard got hit by the cops, he called up Black. And he said, "Yo, Black, man, I need you to do me a favor." He said, this motherfucker done ratted me out. He said, "Cause yo, I got pulled over. They knew exactly where to go to find my stash in the car." And he said, "Let me tell you something. It's only two people know where that goddamn stash is at. That's me and Jamil." I forgot the guy's name. He said, "Me and Jamil. This the only two people. Not even my girl know where that stash is at."
Remember, Black already said to himself, "You know, I'm going to save some money," because he was already making big money in his younger, in his younger ways, and he said for rainy days, just in case Nard gets caught, I know what I gotta do. Exactly. He got a stash. He was prepping himself.
So I like what Nard said though when he said, "Oh, you're right." He said, "Only me and Jamil knew about that goddamn stash." He said, "So I know that motherfucker ratted me out." Turns out, so he said, "What you need me to do?" He said, "That motherfucker," he said, "they got me brought up on some serious charges, and they said they got a secret witness, and I know who the witness is. It's no one other than that damn Jamil. I need you to knock that MF off." And sure enough, when Black goes back to the neighborhood, all of a sudden Jamil is nowhere to be found. For weeks, he went into hiding. That was another sign of guilt.
Yes.
For weeks he's always on the block. So now, turns out, on another day, they got Jamil in the police station. They found out he got hit up on a very minor charge. He got a minor charge, like a bag of weed or something like that. And when they had him in there, they was saying they're going to bring, because he had old charges, they said, "Only way you get out of this is if you get a plea bargain." They said, "If you rat somebody else out." Sure enough, they said, "Give us Nard." And he started singing like a bird. So Nard was right. So now Black was searching for him night and day, couldn't find him. Eventually, Black said, "You know, I know what to do. I'm going to stay by his girl's house. He going to come there eventually."
Exactly.
And sure enough, the Joker came to his girl house one late night, and Black was right out there the whole time, like every night. And as that Joker didn't even get to the top stairs, Black pulled out his 4-4. Boom, 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 boom. Blew that Joker away. And then he went back to the prison. He said, "Yo, man, your problem is all solved. That Joker's, you won't hear nothing from him again."
No, but before killing him, didn't he see Squirrel?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he seen Squirrel.
Thank you.
So
see, right. What happened?
He put a
He was
hold
waiting.
onto that.
He was waiting for
Right.
that dude Jamil. And as he was waiting,
What
when
a
he finally seen him coming,
Right.
and at the same time, this dude walked right in front of his car. And who the dude was? Squirrel. Because he always said, "I got a vendetta." Remember, word of the day. He said, "I got a vendetta against that dude Squirrel. I'm going to kill him." He said it to his father. His last words before his father died. He said, "I'm going to get him, Dad. I'm going to kill that guy who killed you." And sure enough, while he going to kill Jamil, this dude come walk right in front of the car, a junkie. And when he looked, he was like, "That's Squirrel."
Yeah. He forgot about the main thing,
So
the main plan that he had to do, but he seen him. He couldn't let him get
Couldn't
away.
let him go. So sure enough,
Yeah.
he went over to Squirrel. He said, hey, my man. Squirrel out here looking for drugs. He said, "Yo, my man. Yo, man, I had a hard time finding you, man." Because he was running, kind of catch up with him.
Right.
He said, "Hey, listen, man. Yo, I'm trying to move some stuff out of my place, man." And Squirrel was like, "Yo, man, I got something to do." He said, "Hey, man, but look, I got a couple of dollars in it for you." He said, "Listen, if you can help me move this furniture." And he pulled out a wad of money. And he said, "Look," he said, "I'll give you 10 right now." And when he seen all that money, he's like, his eyes got big. He said, "I'll give you $10 right now if you help me, if you agree to help me." He said, "I even got some dope, man. I got some good dope." Then Squirrel got really excited. He said, "We just got to move this furniture." He said, "I'll give you 100 spot if you help me move the furniture, and I'll give you some dope." Squirrel was all happy. Next you know, they started walking, and they walked to this dark alley, and Squirrel was like, "What the heck?" And then before you knew it, Black pulled out his 4-4. He said, "Yeah, you remember me?" And Squirrel's like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't want any trouble. He said, yeah, you don't remember me? He said, you should remember me. You the one that killed my father. And the moment he said that, Squirrel knew exactly who the boy was.
Because he's the only
There's only one person that Squirrel killed. So he knew exactly. He said, hey, man. He said, but I lost my money that night, man. Please, man. He said, besides, your father pulled a knife on me, man. He said, yeah, but you pulled the gun on him and you shot him. You dirty rat.
Right.
Boom! And they put a bullet right in the middle of his head. And that was it. So then it go back. It was like later he seen Jamil walk up the stairs again and blew him away. And then he went to the prison. So he said, yo, your trouble's all gone. You ain't got to worry about it. But then Nard said, he said, nah, man. He said, man, I appreciate you doing that. But it turns out now they brought some more charges on me. It turns out that heroin was so pure that they brought in some other charges on me, man. Don't look like I'm going to be getting up out of here, man. So now he hooked Black up with his connect. And he said, I'm going to need you to run the streets until I get home, if I get home. He said, this is what you're going to do. These are the stash spots. This is where my girls stay. Every week you ought to bring this money to my girl. To make a long story short, that's exactly what Black was doing. He was loyal. But every time he go into his girl house to drop off money, now his girl, she keep coming to the door with lingerie, see-through stuff. One day she came, she made sure she ain't had no panties on, and she act like she dropped something just to bend over so he could see her pure neck. And before you know it, they started having sex on the regular. Right? So now, word getting back to Nard in prison through his sister, because his sister never liked old girl. And he's like, what? That joker do me dirty like that? Man, I'm going to find this out when he come to see me. So now, not only they having sex all the time, next thing, matter of fact, her name was Michelle, I remember. On this one day, Michelle says to Black, she go, you need to try this dope. And he's like, what? Bitch, is you crazy? I'm trying no fucking dope. She said, no, if you want to fuck all night, keep your shit up all night. Trust me when I tell you, this dope will do it. It'll make you fuck all night. Now, Black was only used to having sex with young girls all the time. And she was making him feel guilty. She said, see, you ain't nothing but a little young joker. You fucking these little young girls all the time. You don't know nothing about real sex.
Yeah, obviously she was trying to make him feel like he has to prove.
Yep. And sure enough, unfortunately it worked. He said, I'll try it. And next you know, he snorted the dope. Joker fell back, head nodding, and got up. He said, yo.
He felt sick too.
Yeah, they like, throw up and all that. And she's just laughing at him. Then he was like, yo, I'm finding that fucking funny. And then next you know, sure enough, they was fucking all night. You know what's sad about that story? I've known real people like that. A couple of guys I've known growing up like that, where they honestly said, when I asked them, because I remember one guy came to my house like 3 o'clock in the morning one day, way back in the day, sweating his butt off. Like, yo, Joe, man, you think you lend me $20? Man, my car broke down. I got a flat tire, man. It's all, it's, if you could help me out, it's over there on the highway, such and such. And if you just help me out with $20 so I can get the car fixed. I was like, yo, man, the fuck are you showing up at my house 3 o'clock in the morning talking about some damn car fix? I don't believe you in my damn dude. You crazy, man? So he bounced. But when I seen that dude later, and one of my other dudes stepped to him and said, yo, man, don't be going over my man's house like that. And my man stepped to him, my man Bo. I remember my man Bo stepped to him and said, yo, don't be doing that. Don't be going over my man's house like this. You fucking crazy. So he had came back the following week to apologize. But even when he apologized, I remember I said, yo, T, man, how the hell you get on dope in the first place? You know the first thing he told me? Yo, man, it was my girl, man. He said, my girl was always telling me, man, if I could do this dope, that, yo, I could fuck all night. Matter of fact, she called it the dope dick. Ain't that some shit? He's like, yo, it's called the dope dick. Like, if you do this dope, you could fuck all night. I was like, yo. And he wasn't the first one I heard this story from. It's some other cats I knew, too. Where I said, yo, why jokers be falling for that crap?
Well, that's what happened to Black. He got really stupid.
Now he wasn't thinking level-headed. Things where he was militant with now he was doing stupid stuff. So now, sure enough, he goes to see Nard on this other prison visit. And when he get there, they say your name ain't on the list. And he remember Nard told him, man, your name will forever be on the list. Man, you will always have access to me.
But it was Nard's sister that told
him
on Black
that
and
they
his
fucked.
girl.
Yep.
First of all, Nard's sister never liked that girl.
So now he's like, yo, what the fuck? My name ain't on the list. And then when he go to collect again from the Connect cut him off. He's like, yo, this motherfucker Nard. Next you know, one day Black, because now Nard said, man, I'm gonna put a hit on that joker. Why y'all let women fall think a piece of pussy?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Bobby, but also at the same time, a man that sells drugs and all that, they gotta realize that that's the number one rule. You should not snore on your own
Like
product.
Biggie said, never get high on your
On
own
your
supply.
Yeah.
But
I
then
mean,
you letting pussy get in the, you letting a no good
those are
bitch
weak,
break
man.
y'all up.
You can't point fingers on all the females because of what they do.
A
Men-
junkie
but men-
female on top of that.
But men gotta be very smart too. They
I
can't
agree.
become stupid. You become stupid what?
Yeah.
20% out of the 100%? It's
You're
like
right.
what? What
Because
the
now
heck?
Nard, he said, I'm going to put a hit out on Black. This joker, he fucking my woman. You know what I'm saying? So so now one day, while Black was at a restaurant eating, he seen these two dudes creeping up, and sure enough, bah, 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 bah. They shot up his car. He jumped over the car, this and that, and he's shooting back. And it's a big shootout, but he gets away. He don't get shot. His stuff get all shot up, and the dudes don't get shot. So now he's like, yo, this motherfucker Nard put a hit out on me? Okay, he want to play like that? And now he goes by Nard's mother house late at night and sprays it. And then he says, nah, that motherfucker, he said, now I don't know if someone got hit in the house, and I don't give a damn if they do. But one thing I know for certain, he gonna get the hit. He gonna get the knowledge of what the fuck's going on these streets now. And if he want war, it could be war. His family gonna be the first to get knocked off. Sure enough, where his mother and them went to the prison in a panic, and so Nard called off the hit, no more hit. So now Black back doing his thing. But now him and Netta are together. And she don't love him, but he loves her, and he's giving her the world.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing just like her last man, Major. He's showing her how to bag up, rid of stash houses, rid of the locations, all this stuff, giving her the world, even asked her to marry her.
She was a fast learner, too.
Yep. So now, all of a sudden, now that his connect is cut off, his uncle comes to him and says, yo, man, I got a connect in New York, man. You know what I'm saying? And he go,
that
hey,
didn't
man.
know nothing about nothing.
His uncle telling him all
Just-
lies. He just knew his nephew had a lot of money. He said, man, I got this connect, man. His heroin's so pure, man. I get this set up for you, man. So what do? Because he on dope himself. He's not thinking rational. He gives his uncle $35,000 and says, go to New York. Let me know as soon as you get back so we get this started.
was dumb.
His uncle goes
That
there,
was so
walking
dumb.
around with a big bag of money to random jokers, and they robbed and killed his uncle. The next day, he's seen on the news that a Baltimore resident was killed and slain here in New York, in the alleys of New York. So
New Yorkers.
now Black, he hate all New Yorkers. He has a personal, word of the day, vendetta against any New Yorkers. So all the New Yorkers that was down there in Baltimore, he was killing them because he was like, man, for what happened to my uncle, man, I'm killing all New Yorkers. Ain't no New Yorker supposed to be down here. But there's still New Yorkers down there selling.
Right.
So now what Black does, on another day, he realized, man, I ain't got no more supply. I got to find another supply. So now he do the smart thing. Him, his boy Ty, his right-hand man Ty, another girl that was a killer that in their crew went, and they went with this other girl named Lala. So it was two guys, two girls. But Lala was a fiend. The reason
She was the most important person.
she's a key
of the
component.
crew.
Very key component. So you got three killers, Black, Ty, and Tina. Let's just say Tina. I forgot her name. So Black, Ty, and Tina, killers, but they got Lala. Lala is a main component. Lala is a heroin fiend, a junkie, right? So the reason they bring her is for her to test the product, because they're going to go to multiple places. And everywhere they went, Lala would test the dope here, and it's trash. It's garbage. They would go to another location. This went on for days. They go to another location, and she go, it's heroin, but it ain't much. They go to another location. She's like, that one's all right, but it ain't nothing to brag about. Finally, they went to one location. The guy said, man, I got some pure stuff. It's called
Murder One.
Murder One.
But this is back in New York.
Yeah.
Now remember, what I don't like about Black is that
Yeah,
he
keep
don't
talking.
like New Yorkers.
But he's in New York
over
doing
there in
business.
New York, yeah, that makes him phony, dog.
Exactly. So
It makes them so phony. Like, if you hate them that much, why do you even go there?
sometimes you got to deal with the enemy. So now, Lala, they find that guy. He said, I got some pure stuff. It's called Murder One. So sure enough, Lala tests this. And when she tests it, she go, she go in this whole commotion.
Remember, she had no more veins except her
thank you,
neck, neck, and her
Yeah,
private part.
because when she was trying to test it, she's like, they couldn't get a vein here, couldn't get a vein here, couldn't get a vein here. So then she says to Ty, she said, well, why don't you try hit a vein in my neck? Because you could get one there. He said, bitch, I ain't no fucking vein in your neck. And then she said, well, then would you rather shoot the vein in my pussy?
private.
And he said, yo, you out your goddamn money? So she shot it in her neck. And when she shot it up, now let me tell you something before I get into that. The reason, you gotta understand about a junkie and a dope fiend. The reason a lot of cats that shoot up in their hair, this is like you can see an easy vein there, right? You know, you can see easy veins, right? So, but you get sometime a doctor or get a junkie like that, and no matter what they do, they can't get a vein. Now you got some people that's not junkies, they just got they like anemic or whatever, something like that, where they can't get it. You like, damn, I can't get no blood out of you. But you gotta understand, with some junkies, the reason she said shoot in my pussy is because you got some junkies, they done exhausted all their veins everywhere, that now they gotta find other areas to shoot, like up under their arm to find a vein. They gotta shoot in their penis or their vagina to find a vein, because they gotta shoot in their ankles. You ever seen them junkies? They got them swollen ankles. This is why. Let me tell you something else about junkies. Look at this right here. Y'all see that little black mark? Now that's nothing but a pimple that I just kept messing. Yeah, probably was a mosquito bite and I just kept messing. But just imagine this little dot all around here, right? That's how a junkie's arm look, and it's disgusting. So what some junkies do that will blow a lot of y'all minds is, you have some junkies out here that they are what you would call functioning addicts. It's like another one of my videos called Functioning Idiots. But this one I'm talking about functioning addicts. And when I talk about functioning addicts, I'm talking about, yes, your school teacher. Yes, the garbage man. Yes, that police officer. Yes, that judge. Yes, that professor at that college. I've seen them. I've been around them. I used to work at a methadone clinic. Trust me when I tell you, I used to pick up some of these judges, some of these professors, where they had these tracks. And some of them, they get real smart and real clever, very astute. And what they do, they don't shoot up in the obvious areas where you can see it, because they're in a professional setting. What they do, they'll shoot up, they get real crafty. They'll shoot up under their nails. Now I know for you and me who don't do drugs, we like, what? Man, that's gotta hurt. That's like toy. Yeah, they'll shoot up under their nails so you don't see no track marks. They'll shoot under their arms so you don't see no track marks. They'll shoot in between their fingers. They'll shoot in between their toes, up under their nails. They'll do all kind of crafty things so you don't see the track marks. Meanwhile, they'll be working and functioning in a regular job in society, and you won't even know it. I'm telling you, when I was at that methadone clinic, it was mind-blowing with this one particular professor. We used to go out for lunch every now and then. He was like, man, drop everybody else off, drop me off last. He lived in Maplewood. This guy lived in a big-ass mansion. He was on methadone, and he used to be on heroin. I said, look at this, but these are functioning addicts. So let's get back to the book. So now Lala, she tries murder one. And when she tries it, she shoots it. What did she shoot it eventually? Her neck?
Yeah.
And when she shoots it, she goes into this whole thing, and then she falls back.
Black was the one who had the privilege.
He shot her up. And then she go into these convulsions, and then she falls back, and she falls out.
And they thought that she died.
Yeah, they was like, man, she's dead. What the heck? And they had to slap her, throw water on, and then finally she woke up. Yeah. And when she woke up, she was like, ooh, ooh, that's the best dope I've ever had in my life. She's like, ooh, ooh. They was like, so it's good? She was like, that's more than good. That's the purest, ooh, that's the purest dope I ever had. You know what it remind me of? Your boy Marlon Wayne from Don't Be a Menace by Drinking Your Juice. Remember they was passing the dope, and then one joker took it, he was like, and they looked at him dead, and they was like, pass that shit. Ignorant. So now, Black was back on. He had a connect that had pure dope. So now he's back in Baltimore, and he sends his tie back every now and then. It's back on. He's buying Netta all this stuff and everything. Next thing you know,
brother. Don't forget his brother, Stink.
Stink hated Netta.
Hated since day one.
He said, man, that bitch a snake.
Yeah, there's something about her I do not like.
Yeah,
I do not like.
See, Stink is what you would call a person, as I always said to y'all, when you're able to read a person on body language, you're ahead of the game. Trust me, that body language says a lot. And that's how Stink was. Body language, he said, yo, I don't like her. And Black used to always be like, man, don't start today. He said, nah, I'm telling you, big bro, yo, that bitch is a snake. Something about him like that bitch. So anyway, they back on. But now every time Ty used to go pick up, he started talking to the Connect, because Ty wanted to do his own thing. He ain't doing nothing back there. He just wanted to do his own. So now Ty started buying stuff on the side, doing his own thing. So one day, Black called the Connect.
And it was with his own money.
His own money. He wasn't stealing nothing.
Ty was making money off of what he was helping.
Yeah, he didn't stealing nothing doing back there. So one day, Black calls and set up another day to pick up an even bigger shipment. And when he calls, the Connect in New York says, Oh, you calling already? Your man Ty just left here yesterday. And Black like, what? So what are you talking about yesterday? But Black knew already, and at that same time, the Connect in New York realized, damn, I fucked, I shouldn't have said nothing. So now Black is like, oh, that motherfucker gonna backstab me? See, remember, Black's on dope. You're not thinking rational.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, after all I did for him, I put that little motherfucker on
So he
when he
thought
was
that
selling
he
little bags of
betrayed.
dimes.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, so you want to backstab me? So on this particular day, Ty is at the restaurant, and just before he go in the restaurant, he puts his guns up, but he still got his bulletproof vest on, and he in the restaurant eating, and Black comes in there. As soon as he see him, he start yelling, cussing them, calling them all kind of bitches. You backstab me, and Ty like, yo, what are you talking about, man? He said, nah, man, I never did you dirty. He said, nah, you went to the Connect, you tried to do your own thing, and before you know it, Black pulls out a 4-4 and boom, shoots Ty dead in the chest, and Ty boom, right back to the wall, but he's coughing and all messed up, but Black is looking at him like, yo, why this motherfucking nigga ain't dead yet? I just shot him with my 4-4. Next you know, he go right over there, point blank range, and shoot Ty right in the head. Boom, boom, boom. Right in front of everybody. So obviously Black gets locked up. The moment he gets locked up, he calls Netta, his girl. And he says, look, this is what I'm facing. I need you to go to all the stash spots. Go to all the spots. And nobody was going to do Black wrong because they was scared of this joke. But Netta had it in her mind, this motherfucker about to do life. He ain't never getting
But
out.
she checked. She made a call
To the lawyer.
to
The bail bondsman, the lawyer.
bail
And they was
bondsman.
like, yo, he facing some serious charges. He didn't look like he
And
getting
that's
out.
how Netta thought that he was gonna do lifetime.
Yeah. So now she was like,
Yeah.
she stole all his money, didn't pay for his lawyer or nothing, kept all his money, didn't visit him or nothing. Now weeks turned to months and stuff. And he's like, yo, he realized she turned on her. So now he living his life. Well, she living her life. And to speed it up, because we could be all day here. This video already
Yeah.
40, 50 minutes. To make a long story short, next you know, his lawyer says, I think I could get you out on a technicality. Sure enough, one little click in the law system, he gets Black out. On
And
this
he only do 4 years.
Yeah.
He only do 4 years.
Exactly. So now it's like 4 years later, Netta is driving her car, the same car that Black bought her. And she don't realize he's out. And the whole 4 years he was in, he had an extreme what? Word of the day. Vendetta. I'ma get that bitch.
But remember,
I'ma
while he was
fucking
in
get that
in prison, Netta got with one of the New Yorkers, and his name was Tone.
Tone. Yeah,
His
that's
name
right.
was
Thank you.
Tone. So now it
Tone's a
actually
New Yorker.
Black even got more pissed off.
Yeah.
It's like, how could she?
You did me
How
dirty,
could
and
she?
you with a New
and
Yorker, and you know I
you
hate New
betrayed
Yorkers.
me.
Yeah. So now
That's-
Black, while she's driving her car one day, he's following her. And he's like, this bitch didn't even change her address or the car I bought her. I'm gonna fucking get this bitch. And he bumps her car. When he bumps her car, she gets out like, who the fuck is it? And it's all tinted windows. When he rolls the window down, she sees it's Black, and she immediately gets petrified, like, oh my God. And he says,
Right.
get in the car. And just like that, she gets in the car.
Which was pretty stupid. What
The
she
moment
did.
she got in the car, she realized,
why she
damn it.
even?
He drives right to a motel. So she's thinking, oh, he just wants some sex. They get in there. He immediately takes off his clothes. He tells her, take off your clothes. And sure enough, he's having sex with her, but he's having raw, brutal sex with her to the point she's like, damn, this nigga just got out. He acting like a maniac. But right after he had sex with her, she think it's over. He said, nah, it ain't over yet. So now he bends her over, start having sex with her from behind. Next you know, he start having sex with her anally, something she's never done. And she's begging him to stop, and he's forcing herself on him, and he's choking her at the same time. And next you know, when he finished, she rushes out. She's in extreme pain. She rushes off the bed and rushes in the bathroom to wash herself up. And now she's in there, and all she's thinking, like, how the hell I'm gonna get out of here? And now he takes her brand new white dress that she has on, and he wipes his penis with feces, blood, and cum, and just wipes it all on her
Now
dress.
remember, while she was in that hotel room with Black.
At the same time,
At the
Tone,
same time, in back,
Thank
in
you.
the
They almost
other
forgot.
room,
Tone was in the other room
Tone
with a
was
prostitute, with a
prostitute.
stripper.
Her name is Peaches.
because that same
And then-
night, Tone and Netta was supposed to hang out, and she
Had a-
stood him up.
yeah.
But the only reason she stood him up because she ran into Black.
Yeah, she didn't purposely diss him. She
Yeah.
just got involved with Black. But at the same time, Tone said, "Man, the hell with her.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out and do my thing."
Yeah.
He ended up with Peaches, which was one of the strippers.
Yes.
and went up to the hotel. What a coincidence!
They was in the next room to each other.
Yeah.
And while they was having rough sex and he was yelling, he had so much vendetta against her. He was talking like he was in the third person. Everything he was referring to, he's like, yeah, bitch, you did black wrong. You know, nobody do black wrong, bitch. And while she in the bathroom, she's like, how the hell am I gonna get out of here? He went to the closet and got some, remember Mommy Dearest? He got some wire hangers. And he's like, yeah, this bitch gonna learn today. So as soon as she came out of the bathroom, just all she think about how I'm gonna get out of here. I was cracking up. He cold copped it. He was standing on the side of the door and just pop, punched her like you punch a man and knocked her out. And when she came to, she only came to because he was whipping her with a wire hanger, beating her so bad like a slave.
That
where
the skin was coming out.
Her skin was coming off. Yeah, and then she woke up blood everywhere and screaming. And next door, Peaches, she stopped having sex with Tone. She said, I hear a lot of commotion going on next door. And he's like, yo, mind your fucking business. Don't worry about them people next door. One thing I learned, don't ever get in the man and the woman's business. She's like, no, because she been through domestic violence. She said, if I ever see or hear something, I'm going to help because I know what happened to me. And Black was beating her to death within an inch of her life. And eventually, they banged on the door so much, then they came next door. They was like, I'm calling the cops. And at that moment, Black rushed out. And they came over, and they just missed him by a second. And then when they seen, they called the ambulance, the cops and all that. And when Tone turned her over and seen her ID in the wallet, he realized, holy shit, this was Netta. So they put her in the hospital. She made a recovery, but she was fucked up. She was petrified now. And
what's so funny about it is that Tone stood with her from the beginning of timing. I guess he was really did.
I love that he got her back, but I was like, you can kill that Joker. I hated that Joker. But yo,
he wasn't as angel as she was.
So now Tone went on a mission. He was like, yo, we gotta find out what's going on. Yo, you know what? It's a whole lot more because I know we probably an hour in already. You don't realize it. I'll just check the time.
Oh, it doesn't.
We're gonna be here all day, so I'm gonna just end it with this here. Mimi now is getting high because she's so jealous that Netta keep getting a big ball and she's not. She hating. She like, after we took her in, all this stuff. She is getting high, so high that she's messing with random dudes constantly. Her mother's raising her child. Now her mother realized she's a junkie. She sends her to rehab. She comes back. She get back on drugs again, all bad. So bad that guys are pulling trains on her with video. Word getting around like, yo, she's way lost it. And she's plotting against Netta to get her and all this. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more to say. We could go all day because this is how eventful and how dramatic this book was. But we're gonna leave y'all with that. If you want to read the book, trust me, go buy it. You're gonna love it. Because we, like I said, we could be here all day. And I didn't realize we were an hour in. I know some of y'all like, damn, man, this guy, it's an hour going. Some others are saying, no, keep going. I wanted you to keep telling the rest.
I love the ending, but I wish it would be a continuation because it is so much that you could speak about.
Yes.
About this book.
Black. Netta, it's a Tone. It's a whole lot more drama that we basically did the beginning, middle to the end, the beginning of the end, but we didn't get to the end because the video's getting too long. I don't want to have y'all all day. But on that note, we're gonna let y'all go. Remember, the word of the day was vendetta. To get revenge against a murdering person that murdered someone close to you, and you want to get that murdering person back. Basically, revenge. And what a coincidence! The main character, her name is Netta. That's why I thought to use the word of the day as vendetta.
Right, but get the book, and trust me. And if y'all get to finish the book, which we didn't tell you the ending, leave us a comment and let us know what you think.
Now, one last thing I want to say about this book. You know, of all the books I got, which I have many, do you know I didn't buy this book?
Okay, so I did ask you, how did you find
I got this book. It proves you got some good, genuine people in this world. This one I used to work back in the days of this delivery company, and I used to be making my deliveries, but I'd be walking, reading. And people all in that town used to be, boy, I always see you reading books every time you making deliveries. And I remember this one girl, I wish I knew her name, I forgot her name. She worked at 26 Journal Square in Jersey City on the 9th floor at this company. And she was the one that we used to talk about books all the time. She'd read this book, I read this book. And I remember she said, you ever read the book, Be More Careful? And I was like, nah, I never even heard of that. She said, yeah, it's by Shannon Holmes. Trust me, he got a lot of good books. I said, nah, I know the author, but I never read that book. She said, trust me, if you ain't got it, that's a book you want to buy and you want to keep. She said, matter of fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring it to you. And that's how I got this book. She brought me the book. And when she brought me the book, man, I read that book in a matter of probably 2-3 days. We both did. And And then after I read it, I remember I brought it back to her. We was in the office talking and going back and forth like we was little kids. And she's like, look, you know, there's so much to talk about this daggone book. She said, but I'll tell you what, I got work to do. You're going to get me fired. She said, look, we talk tomorrow. And the next day I came in, we was going at it. She said, I told you that book was good. I said, yo, that's got to be one of my best books. That book is awesome.
Yeah, well, I want to thank her. Girl.
Yeah.
This book is worth keeping.
Yeah.
It is worth
So on that note, we're going to let y'all go. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. It's a whole lot more we ain't even get to because the video's getting too long. But peace.